Hi, hi guys. Haven't done a Facebook Live in a super long time, so I think today is a good day to do one on a topic that is really important. It's also good for me to make videos on things I'm passionate about at that moment in time, because it comes across better, and hopefully I'll give you some good information on this topic being fasting. Fasting, right? Fasting. It's so important, fasting. Quite literally, the fastest way to health is fasting. Abstinence of food or water. I'm talking about fasting from food or water, or whatever type of fasting you're doing. I'm not talking about social media fasting or fasting from people. I'm talking about fasting from food or water. It's very fucking powerful and essential for all humans, for optimization of health, for happiness, for well-being, spiritual, emotional, mental, way beyond just the physical. But also, of course, it does tackle the physical too. So you're not gonna have diseases like most people. You're not gonna have aches and pains way too early in your life. You operate at a level when you master fasting and intermittent fasting too. When you master this shit, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna die of natural whatever it's gonna. Any problems that surface just gonna get tackled straight away. Literally, any problems that are gonna try and surface within your body, any kind of long-term, short-term chronic diseases, aches, pains, even minor infections and stuff, can't take hold in a body that's clean and pure. Which is why we kind of have to constantly commit to fasting on a regular basis. And what I mean by that is it's good to do long period fasting of like a couple of days at a time, once a month. I'm all for that, but also we need to, in the health community too, we need to really master not just long periodic fasting, but intermittent fasting of at least 16 hours a day, at least, which is not a lot, because think about what I just said. That gives you 8 hours a day of eating food, which, by the way, I think is too much for me personally. 8 hours a day of eating food, that's way too much. Maybe 16 hours a day is good for what we can push towards people that aren't into health, people, friends and family and loved ones that are getting diseases. That's a great protocol up to at least 16 hours a day. So you tell the normal people, okay, eat 8 hours a day, and that's fine. That's cool. But for us, I don't think that's good enough. I mean, you have to nail on a consistent basis, because remember, health isn't what you do in one off. Like, oh, I got lots of sun today, and I've never got sun before on my naked skin. Oh, I drank loads of aged urine today, but I never normally do that. No, that's not how you're gonna maintain a high level of vibration. That's a one-off thing. Health is like a daily thing you do, so it's often do small things consistently, like nailing intermittent fasting, like doing your aged urine, like making your vitamin D, getting out in the midday sun, like doing a little bit of sunrise sunset therapy, like eating the right foods. It's daily. It's a small upward climb. It's not like big jumps. And that's the problem, because when we talk with people that aren't into health, they'll often think they come from this mentality that the matrix gives them, not only in pills and popping and quick and fixes, but even with these medicines like herbs that they might believe in, homeopathy, whatever. They think it's just like that. They need to take it once. That's not how it works. That's not how life is. So you have to nail these things, and you have to nail intermittent fasting as part of your daily protocol. Now, I'd say 16 hours is not enough for us. I'd say 18, shoot for 18, 20, really. I mean, I'm on one meal a day, but I'm not perfect with my diet, so I feel that one meal a day is essential for me to do 23 hours a day every day, then do more periodic fasting. But even if you're on what we consider a perfect diet, whether that be fruits, vegetables, or whatever you consider as your perfect diet for your body type, you need to really do 16 hours a day so we can be examples to other people of health. I feel really healthy. I've been feeling healthy for a long time now. I've been traveling around visiting people. I've been to the Peak District, got lots of pure air. Just come off the back of 46 hours dry fast, except I had a little bit of aged urine. I wanted to experiment with aged urine. That's very powerful, by the way, when you're dry fasting. To drop two things. When you drop dry fasting with aged urine, it's a very powerful mechanism for the human body. Dry fasting is great alone, but if you drop aged urine, which is very powerful anyway, even when you're eating food, when you drop it in an empty tummy, a dry fast where the nutrients are going to be super absorbed, because when you dry fast, you clean the body and clean the body house and don't provide it food and water. The body gets super absorbent, but it gets super absorbent to whatever you put into it next. So, with that being said, it's very key. This is why that people say it's very key to how you break a fast. For me, the most important reason why to break a fast properly, a dry fast with like aged urine, with fruits or whatever, is because your powers of absorption of those good nutrients from the aged urine, from the fresh urine, from the fruits, is going to be absorbed 10 times higher. So that's why it's important to break a fast properly. In other words, you're maximizing the fasting purpose, and you're kind of undoing a little bit if you're going to break it with shitty food. So I've got a lot of lessons to learn there. Now I'm starting to break my dry fasts of 24 hours plus with aged urine, and I'm finding great results. It gives me that energy that I lose, because dry fasting does give you energy, but so does aged urine, and it just pumps you up. So that's a good trick when you're going through detox and you're going through a low mood because you're detoxing heavy from the dry. Drop some aged urine and drink it. Probably the best way to drink it. It's the quickest way to activate. Do these things, and I've found that my energy goes right through the roof. I just seen Sean's comment. I just thought, hi Tracy, mate. Hi Anita. And yeah, the ultimate question. I'll answer that in a bit. Yeah, it's all about consistency. It's not about big moves. This is what society wants to teach you. It's about, if I drop this herb, if I do this once in a while. No. Health is like we're constantly being poisoned by the environment. It's just a slow degradation of the system, and you need to do it slowly. Plus, it's hard to do all the protocols all in one. You need to build up your habits really slowly upwards, and it's a lifestyle thing at the end of the day. It's not hard for me to do now. Finally, coming from garbage diet, eating loads, never knowing about fasting till 2 years ago, never skipping a meal like 2 years ago, and drinking tap water too, drinking bottled spring water, and all this crap. So, yeah. To answer your question, Nita, that's a great question, and I go back and forth with it. Dry versus, I know Monica Shu and maybe other people say that a urine fast is very good. Now, my opinion from my experiments is dry fast is more quick, activates the body quicker in terms of detox, but it does different things. Like there's bad side to a dry fast versus a urine or a distilled water fast that I know of and I've experienced. And obviously, a dry fast isn't going to make your bowel movements better in that moment. It will improve them after you break the fast, but during the fast, if you're like providing liquids to the body and getting into the bowels, well, guess what? You're not going to go to number twos. So it's kind of essential, I believe, for dry fasting. If you're going to do long periods of dry fasting, you either have an empty tummy, empty colon, and you're looking after your colon health prior to doing a long dry fast. In other words, don't do a dry fast when you're constipated. Don't do that, because it's not going to move along the bowels quicker. It really won't. In those cases, and you feel like, there's some shit in I've still got like a lot of caked up stuff and fecal matter that wants to come out. In other words, if you want to do parasite cleanses too, dry fast will, but you've got to combine it with urine. It's not just a dry fast. Dry fast alone will kill the parasites a little bit, but you want to maybe urine fast to be more effective because you're doing the water and stuff. Aged urine, the ultimate for parasite cleanse and bowel movements, the ultimate that I've experienced is a long period of dry fasting and then break it by dropping aged urine or an enema. Aged urine enema at these points when your body's highly absorption from the dry fast, and then also or a top-down enema, drinking, or both. Yeah, that would definitely sort out the parasites. As regards to fresh urine fasting, fresh urine is it's good, and also it's more powerful fresh urine when you're dry fasting because it's got no cooked food contaminants or even fruit anything. It's pure fresh. But I still think in my heart that it slows down the detox to do a fresh urine fast versus a dry fast. So I always want to get to my highest activation point quicker. Plus, dry fasting for me and from what other people experience too is a lot easier than a distilled water and urine fast. Some people don't want to hear that but to me, water activates my hunger and I get thirsty. So I find it a lot easier not to take anything by mouth or even put water on my urine on my skin topically when doing that dry fast. Unless I'm deliberately breaking the fast with aged urine, I just don't do it. I love my old dry fast. I always will. I knew from the first time I tried dry fast 16 hours long that it was legit and powerful, and my brain felt really super sharp. So, yeah. Merry Christmas, nice. Bye, Karen. Yeah, and they are so real. That's what I want to say, really. Just fasting is super important. We must nail these protocols. We must nail intermittent fasting and kind of not get off these bandwagons and do it for longer than 16 hours. 16 hours is what we recommend for people that aren't into health. That'll keep them in a good level of health. But for us, really, we should be looking at feeding windows. It's not hard, is it? I'm asking you for 6 hours a day. You can stuff your face for 6 hours a day, 4 hours a day, or even 1 meal a day. Stuff your face. That'd be a really good protocol, right? And I mean that even with the proper foods too. If you're eating fruits 3 or 4 hours a day of eating fruits, that's fine too. But it is literally is fasting is the fastest way to health. It's essential to keep that body pure and clean, and it's also what our ancestors used to do when we used to feast and famine. That's my opinion on that. We are not grazers. We are not sheep that eat constantly, and cows and horses that had abundant grass because they graze because they have grass everywhere. We don't eat grass, and grass is everywhere. Our foods that we were meant to eat, let's argue what we were meant to eat. Everyone's different. I think possibly fruits. That wasn't grown, it wasn't available to us all year round, all the time in abundance. That's why the body, human avatar, was designed to go through periods of famine and fasting being famine, right, where we can't find food. And in those periods, the body was designed to activate a higher level of consciousness, to keep us not only alive and barely, but to thrive actually from fasting, even more so than fruits. I've also got a lot of reasons why I think that fasting is more powerful than fruits, and the sun, linking with vitamin D and thriving and shit. But I won't go into that detail because that's just too fucking geeky for this one. So yeah. Oh, and in terms of urine therapy, I'm a strong advocate in just get it in you. Don't worry too much where you put it in. You go up the nose. I mean, it does different things, right? But it's a very good protocol, age, fresh. Anywhere. Put it in the ears, the nose, the mouth, drink it, take it again topically, put it up your bum. It does different things. It's very powerful, right? But I'm sidetracking. So yeah, fasting is the fastest way to health. I'm definitely activating higher consciousness and the best version of me that I could possibly be in this time through fasting. And the better I get at it, and I'm not perfect because I broke my fast at 46 hours yesterday and I was thinking I should have gone longer, but I am getting better. It's a slow progress. So try and improve. For us, we should be trying to improve on our hours, our long period fasting hours, unaddicting ourselves off food, feeling those high energies from fasting, and going through the tough times and also going through the cravings, which are very real. And it's why I broke my fast yesterday. I had the cravings and I gave in. And having little tactics to handle cravings, like not having food around you in the house that is tempting you to eat. Don't go to the shops and buy that shit. There's little things that we can do, and always be improving on your intermittent fasting hours if you got that nailed, but in your long period fasting hours, and you will experience health and glow and radiation. Radiation. I meant like your skin will radiate, your body will radiate. So yeah, we must nail it. It's so important. It's probably the most powerful for the physical body avatar, but way more than that, spiritual, emotional. It really is. It's an all-round encompassing system for the human body at many levels, and it's who you really are, and it will bring out the raw emotions, and it'll heal trauma too. It's one of the best ways to heal trauma, in my opinion, is to fast. You don't have to do anything. Think about what I'm saying. Like, fasting is one of the easiest and the hardest. The paradox is the hardest, easiest and the hardest to do. It's easiest because all you got to do is not eat or drink anything, or just not eat anything. It sounds easy, right? It's called non-doing fasting, so it's easy, right? But that's also the hardest because we're so used to doing something, which is putting food in our mouth and getting that taste and getting that addiction to even fruits or the ideal foods. It's all an addiction. The food's an addiction. The life is we need that taste. We think we need it. So it's really hard at the same time. But once you nail it, you nail it. And then you say goodbye to diseases and you say goodbye to depression. Holy shit. Does fasting cure depression? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, probably better than anything else you could ever do. Food causes depression. Eating too much causes depression. Grazing causes depression. Of course it does. You're putting toxins in your body. Even if it is perfect foods, because everything around us is contaminated. And the quickest way to remove contamination from our body, heavy metals and poisons and all that shit, is to allow the body to heal itself. And the quickest way the body heals itself is emptiness. Absolute nothing. Because the body is highly intelligent. I love to think about sometimes if I just don't do anything, my body just has an innate ability to go around and cure and heal exactly what it needs to, and the most important first. So if you're unhealthy, it will tackle the diseases, and then it'll go to the minor levels of like and then it will raise your vibration. You'll feel amazing. The body's amazing, man. Think about what it does when it's fasting. Let's have some gratitude here for what's been created for us that we didn't know. We don't need to type in a code. We don't need to type in a code to say how to fix the body when we don't eat or drink. We just don't eat or drink, and then the body codes go automatic. Like you switch on a computer and it just fucking works, man. It's like our body's got a code and it just goes about healing and fixing and elevating your consciousness and letting you experience bliss and healing traumas and bringing out the toxins from the body in such a perfect fucking system. Oh, and then urine therapy during dry fasting, you collect some really special peace too. So it's the wonder of the human body. Just have your reasons to fast and experience the magic, and let's have appreciation for how amazing the body is, because it really is a fabulous machine that knows itself. It's far smarter than me and you will ever be. The design of our body is far smarter than us. So let's show some appreciation and love to it, and let's not over fucking feed it. That's not showing appreciation for it. That's showing a lack of self-love, a lack of acknowledgement of how great our body is. It really is. That's how you got to look at it. Like all these diseases and illnesses people are doing, eating too much, it's a lack of love for their creation and who they are. Because we are in a physical body avatar right now, in duality. So we do need to take care of this physical vessel. Yes, we are one love. Yes, we are one consciousness underneath it all. And yes, we're all going to die at some point. But wouldn't it be nice to take care of that physical body whilst we're in it, you know, as best as we possibly can, so we can thrive and experience the bliss of duality, the highs. There's real good highs with the low. You know, you see what I'm doing here? I'm giving you reasons which you already know, but I'm actually talking about reasons why I love fasting too. And then the more reasons you've got to do fasting, on top of the logical reasons, like I just said, with experiences, and then you get the trauma healing and all that stuff, you really will be encouraged to carry on these practices, and it's very addictive. And do not forget that intermittent fasting alone is very powerful. If people ain't on intermittent fasting, and they only did one thing for their health, yeah, let it be intermittent fasting. Let it be 16, 18, 20 hours a day, because magic happens at 16, 18, 20 hours a day. Now, just a quick one before I leave, if they do intermittent fasting, in my opinion, if you're going to do intermittent fasting, you're only doing one or whatever, do the dry fasting. Do intermittent dry fasting. That's really powerful. Intermittent water fasting, yes. Intermittent juice fasting, yes. But do intermittent dry fasting, because that's how I started with dry fasting. 16 hours intermittent dry fasting, and whoa, what a change that is. No water, no food, and do intermittent dry fasting, hard dry fasting. Yeah? Don't have a shower, don't brush your teeth. Try that once, try that twice, and then you'll realize, shit, I need to make this daily. So what I'm saying is daily intermittent hard dry fasting, 16, 18, 20 hours. Woo! That will keep you at a very high level of health forever, in my opinion. Yeah? And then you experience the magic of dry fasting too. Then you can push the dry fasting hours and do longer ones, but that's a great way to get into the power of dry fasting for those that are like, oh, but isn't dry fasting dangerous? Oh, I need water. I need 4 liters a day or else I'm going to die every single day of urine, of water, blah, blah, blah. Nah, you don't fucking need that shit. You'll realize that when you do an intermittent hard dry fast, no water, you do not die, you feel amazing, your brain's on sharp, on point, you can exercise longer and all that shit. So it's a great in. It was my in to wanting to do longer dry fasts to 24 hours was the intermittent hard dry fast. And I mean no water contact. You know, when I first did it, I was so serious about the hard dry fast that I wouldn't even put my feet on the ground, because I noticed when I ground in that my feet would absorb, at those states, my feet would absorb the water. Now I'm not that hardcore. I won't have a shower, I won't drink. So I do hard dry fasting, but I will put my feet on the ground and absorb water that way. You know, because I think grounding is more powerful actually than doing that, getting a couple of extra hours of hard dry fasting. But you've got to do what you want to do. I'm only putting information out there. Don't take anything I ever say as dogma. We're all learning from each other at the end of the day. You've got your own protocols too. I'm just telling you what I do for myself to keep myself at a high level of state. Because what I love about physical health is I love maintaining a very high level, and I hate dropping my state. And I will drop my state if I fuck up on fasting, I will, or eat too much, I will drop my state, and I don't like that. So I'm always trying to come up and up and up. And it's hard, but it's worth it. It really is. The ride is wild, and it is the fastest way to health. Fasting, no joke. It's the savior. In many ways, aged urine therapy, fasting, these are the saviors of mankind. These are the tools, the simple tools that cost nothing, your urine, aging, no problem. Fasting, eating nothing, save money too, no problem. These are the things that we take our power back. It's kind of very sad that in Western we have to relearn about that our ancestors knew naturally because they were forced to fast. When I think about it too, it's also really sad that people in the outside world don't know fasting because, unfortunately, we have food available to us 24/7 wherever we go. There's a shop around the corner, there's a Sainsbury's, there's a Tesco, if you're in America, there's a Walmart, there's a fucking, whatever, Lidl's, Aldi, all that shit. We've come away from our nature, and I think it's by design that food is available everywhere, not just for money purposes, for them to sell. I think it's by design to keep people unhealthy. So now, unfortunately, we have to proactively do these things and discipline ourselves not to eat, because food is abundant, and bullshit food, most of it, is abundant around us. Comfort and food, and like, oh, you can eat whatever you want, you can satisfy your sugar lust and shit, and go to the shops, it's right down the corner. That's not how our ancestors grew up. Our ancestors, day by day, our ancestors were in a hunt and survival for like food, wasn't it? Yeah, they had to look for food. They weren't sure if they were going to get food whilst they travelled around. There was no food where they were, say, living in caves. There's no food around there, so they had to move, walk a couple of miles and try and find it. That's why the physical body avatar was designed to thrive when your tummy was empty, because if it wasn't, they would fucking die. They would get like 1-2 days, our ancestors couldn't find food, and then fuck shit, their body would just crumble, right? Because fasting's not healthy. But because it was designed for us, that fasting improves the avatar, makes us cleaner, purified, and ultimately gives us more energy. That helped our ancestors in the hunt and survival for food. But I'm sure our ancestors would have noticed too that fasting seemed to improve their health more than food eating. So I also think that our ancestors weren't as excited as us about eating food, possibly, as we are. So yes, they would probably have needed to eat, but they probably wouldn't have been excited about eating food, because they would have recognised, I feel happier and more energetic when I'm not eating, And maybe it was just a little joy thing, a little nice little taste in the mouth, a little experience, a little experience to have the fruit when they found something, or the vegetables, not like they knew that it was going to make them healthier, because they must have known it. Not really compared to fasting, but just a little social thing, isn't it, together? So yeah, on that note, I think I've talked enough on fasting. Yeah. Yeah, David, man. Definitely. Yeah, okay, so that's it. Let's fast our way to the fastest way to health possible. And take nil by mouth. And you can do what you want. You can do a juice fast, you can do a water fast, you can do a dry fast. You can experiment with all of them. Just recognise a dry fast won't move your bowels as effectively. So, and a water fast has its place too. Distilled water, urine will move the bowels. They've all got different activations. Juice is a fast. For people that are scared of jumping into dry fast, do what you want, do what you can. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your life. And fasting is not depriving yourself. It's just fucking not. Deprive yourself of food. Oh no. That's how the mainstream look at it, right? Deprive yourself. No. Don't deprive yourself. Fucking live. Fucking fast and be happy. And merry. On that note, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. And let's stay strong, and let's keep up with the protocols, and keep being healthy, and keep smiling, and keep planting seeds wherever we can too with the normal people. Like I said, the one I'm thinking of is an intermittent fasting. It's a great one. Just yeah. On that note, thank you very much, and love you guys very much.